All right. I guess this
Episode 11.
yeah, 11. You finally
Got it right. No, I get it right all the time.
Yeah.
I got it wrong one time. That was last week.
Okay, I guess I gotta say it's official now. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth to the Texans.
Oh man, the Texans.
Some
All
of them ain't too happy about it.
So, we made a video about this yesterday, I think, right? Yeah, no, we made a video about the George Floyd situation.
We talked about Juneteenth though.
We brought it up. We didn't speak on it like I said we would today. So the Juneteenth situation, obviously, Biden signed the act to make Juneteenth a national holiday. What was that? Wednesday? Wednesday, right?
I believe so.
So middle of the week, you had all these the CBC members, the Congressional Black Caucus members.
Frauds.
You had all these fake political activists, black quote unquote celebrity activists. They was pushing for this to be a holiday. And you mentioned that you worked with a woman from Florida. What did she feel
From
about
Texas?
Yeah, what did she feel about it becoming a holiday? A
She
national
was-
holiday.
She was conflicted. On one hand, she felt like it's giving recognition to the people that endured slavery 2 more years.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, she felt like fuck that holiday. She want reparations.
See, that's the thing. We saw somebody talk about the whole Juneteenth becoming a holiday situation, and obviously I don't take much of what conservatives say, or liberals for that matter. Both sides, if you're not, most of these people are partisan. They constantly focus on what their party believes or what their political affiliation
Instead of
believes.
having their own opinion about stuff.
What they call it. It's funny because a lot of these conservatives will call themselves free thinkers, and it's like, are you really?
No.
You ride a company line most of the time. But what I was about to say was, a lot of them was saying stuff like Juneteenth is like reparations, and it causes.
Who said that?
That was on a news channel we watched called True News.
Yep.
Now we watch True News. They are, I guess you call them conservative Christian.
They like to say they're not on both sides of the fence, but clearly
conservatives.
they lean more.
Yeah, we watch
right.
them because they dive deep into political
a lot of
stuff.
things.
They piece stuff together way before a lot of times mainstream media have access to it. It's old white dudes, they're Christians.
And Mongolian dude.
Yeah, we think he's Mongolian.
Edward was the one who said this is like
basically
reparations.
And it's like, where did that come from? When did getting a holiday? So I guess Martin Luther King Day was a reparations as well. But then you have the same people, a part of the same party, saying stuff like, "Oh well, Juneteenth causes more division and constantly brings up the past and what happened." It's like, damn, you can't win from losing. So basically, if we talk about it, we're wrong. If we create a holiday to celebrate a quote unquote slavery ending, you're still saying that's wrong.
Well, because they feel
shame.
Some of them, but they feel shame and guilt. It's spotlight is on them because they think that all their crimes and their debt is gone, but no, it's still hovering over your head. The debt ain't going nowhere. And your crimes ain't going nowhere.
It ain't. So basically, they get mad with you for taking down the Confederate statues. And whatever your opinion on the statues going up or down, that's your business. But you're okay with statues being erected of people who we would consider, by today's standards, bad people, quote unquote. But you don't want holidays to talk about what happened back then. You want them to be able to still have statues. You don't want holidays to represent the other side.
Which gives a bad reminiscence for African Americans when they see those people.
Well, some people. I don't give a damn.
But not all people.
I don't give a damn about no statues.
I don't give a damn whether they take them up. I don't give a damn whether you take them down.
At least that flag that people carry around is not even a real Confederate flag. But if you do carry it around, it's a loser's flag. It really should be treason.
It is. It's treason.
That flag went against the American flag. That should be a treason if you carry that flag around.
Because you lost. I
guess they're the real patriots, as they call it.
Southerners.
The Southern patriots. But yeah, Juneteenth is now a holiday, and like I said, I'm indifferent towards it. It's almost like when they was talking about Harriet Tubman being on the what was it, the $20 bill. It's like, it was like, whatever. It is, they do what they want to do. Let's listen to some of these Congressional Black Caucus members talk about Juneteenth becoming a holiday. First up is going to be I forgot her name. What is this woman's name? I forgot
Lee.
her name. Huh?
Her name is Lee.
Lee something. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name at all. But this is her speech on it becoming a holiday. Let me just.
On this vote, the yeas are 415 and the nays are 14. The bill is passed.
Sheila Lee Jackson, that's her name.
Sheila Lee Jackson, yeah.
Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
She's so happy to get it. Now,
you should be working on that fucking HR 40 bill. Fuck that. Sorry, Texans. We love y'all, but hey, I'm sure y'all want that HR 40 bill to be moving opposed to Juneteenth. That could have been waited.
But look, man, it's such useless. It's so useless.
I'm sorry, Texas. I'm sorry. It's useless. It does nothing for us.
Let's be honest. I think most Texans are like, we don't want this to be national holiday anyway.
Okay, but I don't want them to take it as disrespect because they hold that 2 year against the rest of the African Americans in the country. But
well, see,
Judge Joe Brown said,
listen,
y'all were informed and you chose to stay there.
Hold on. Now, Judge Joe Brown, like I said, like somebody in the comment section said, shout out to the dude in the comments. Hold on, let me see if I can find his name right quick. But on that video we put out of Judge Joe Brown's comments on the Juneteenth, and he kind of broke down how long after the Emancipation Proclamation, after all these acts were passed, the 40 acres and a mule thing was passed, they sent soldiers down to tell these black people in Texas that they were not in slavery. And he said, according to what he understands, these people ignored the black people who told them that, slavery was over. And look, I'm not saying, the way Judge Joe Brown put it out there, these people were dumb, coons, and were okay with being slaves, basically. I don't think that's what happened.
I'm not saying that, Texas.
I don't think that happened. I think more than likely those people were kept away from certain information. Those soldiers that went down there to tell them that slavery was over probably didn't get to reach them. Who knows?
This is what I think. I think even if the soldiers did come down there and let them know this, now mind you, I'm gonna say it, they're black soldiers. So they probably thought, should we really listen to them? I mean,
that sounds nasty.
It sounds nasty, but let's just be honest. You're in slavery, you're being held captive. In their mind, they would view, white soldiers coming to tell them you guys are no longer in slavery versus black people telling them that. If you look at it that way, just imagine being enslaved and then you have, your own people come and tell you enslaved, and they probably like, please don't take this the wrong way, but they like, should we trust these niggas? These niggas try to get us killed.
January.
Here's a video here, and he talked about it when we put out. This is actually on the Real Dana. This is her channel, but this is the one we uploaded because we wanted this clip because regardless of how you feel like what he said, those are facts. They're factual things that he said, but he kind of came to a conclusion.
To hide them now. Zippity doo dah.
He kind of came to a conclusion that's not necessarily, factual. It's kind of his own opinion that they chose to stay into slavery rather than to.
And that's the part that you have disagreeing. It's hard to agree with him on that.
And 2 months from Lee getting his ass whooped, you've been free a year and a month from Johnson getting finally his ass whooped and surrendering. And it's been a year and a month since your fellow some black soldiers told you were free. Now you got to have a white boy tell you free? That is so embarrassing.
And that's just what I was saying. They would rather hear from a white quote unquote boy.
Once again, we don't know if that's what happened. We don't know if they were told by these black soldiers.
Well, the person that I work with at work, who's a Texan, and when I was telling her that story, she was like, well, she felt like the president themselves at that time should have personally came.
Well, they didn't have television then.
You said they didn't have television. That's what she was saying. She said, I would think that the president
would come down
to Texas.
Okay, hold on.
and tell these people they've been freed or send some type of I guess government agency to let them know. I'm like, well, they did. They sent your people, black soldiers, to tell you.
Yeah, look, it looked bad. It looked bad, Texas. But we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna let y'all, while you can look it up yourself. Like I said, it's different when you're actually there versus when you read about it or you hear about it.
Man,
it's different.
Man, don't mess with them Texans. They their own state.
So this is
country. Sorry.
This is Biden signing the bill, and look at it. I was gonna take a picture of this and put a whole bunch of raccoon heads on them around him,
And they got everybody there.
Everybody.
Texas. Did anybody else? Oh, yeah, okay, man. I'm sorry, man.
Congressman Davis.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right.
And he gave them the pen from signing it.
No substance.
Nothing. And y'all gave him a hand clap. Y'all holding up pens
instead of holding up dollars, deeds for land.
You know, the same way Joe Biden said that it's embarrassing what he think happened. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
You mean Judge Joe Brown?
Huh?
Judge Joe Brown?
No, this.
Oh.
I said the same way Judge Joe Brown feel embarrassed by what he think happened with that. I'm embarrassed by this. He gave them some damn pens after signing an act to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Now, keep in mind, it was already a holiday for you if you celebrated it.
Yeah,
it's yours.
That's they gotta have that white
validation. It's insane, man. And all day long yesterday, all you kept seeing was them just constantly doing embarrassing things to show how happy they was that they able to turn this into a holiday. Now, this one right here probably the most embarrassing. I want y'all to watch them sing Lift Every Voice.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of...
Look at Al Green. Ain't his name?
Mm-hmm.
Al Green. He said the president can't go unchecked.
Now, he ain't said nothing about
Biden. Ain't said shit.
Liberty, let our rejoicing rise.
All right. Yeah.
I can't take no more.
Now, keep in mind, they passed the bill. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Anti-Asian hate.
And you got a fucking Juneteenth bill.
And they gave you a holiday. And they got you in that
no protection.
Listen, y'all. All these people on that stage need to go. They got to go.
That's why we still in the wilderness, waiting for these old people to die off.
Waiting on them to go on to the green pasture.
From the croak.
Go to the green pasture. That's what we waiting for. Now, obviously, we had the Juneteenth situation, embarrassing as that was. You also had people like Candace Owens, who made comments about the Juneteenth situation. And look,
what were you saying about Candace Owens? She's a what?
What you mean, a grifter?
A grifter.
So Candace Owens. Now, last year, not last year, but when Donald Trump came out and said that he is for making Juneteenth a national holiday, we saw Candace Owens go on Twitter and say, this is great, how proud she is of that and all this stuff. Celebration, what she called it. So then we just saw Biden make it a national holiday. And this was Candace Owens' response to it. Juneteenth is so lame. Democrats really need to stop trying to repackage segregation. I'll be celebrating July 4th and July 4th only. I'm American. Now, there's also a tweet somebody found of her saying she's a proud Caribbean. So it's like, hold on. Just a couple years ago, you were for Juneteenth becoming a national holiday. You were proud to be Caribbean. Now you're against Juneteenth and you're proud to be American. Now, I know people change, but that seems like a grifter. That seems like her job is to go against anything that she feels the opposite side is for. Once again, whatever to her, she get your money. That's what they all doing. Didn't she admit that before 2016, before Donald Trump ran, she said that she was a Republican, she was a Democrat. Didn't she sue a school for what they call it?
Racism? They did something to her.
Yeah, something about she didn't get accepted into a school or something. Discrimination. She sued the school for discrimination, but then Donald Trump runs for office and he just completely turned a light bulb on for her. She just, I'm a Republican all this time. I'm coming out.
Coming out trying to get that damn money.
I've had a theory for the longest that people like Candace Owens have been hired by the Democratic Party to convince black people not to be Republicans. I know that sounds crazy. They tell a person
That don't sound crazy at all. That makes perfect sense.
They tell a person like her to say she's Republican and say the most dumbest shit sometimes.
Outlandish things.
Sometimes everybody, broken clock is right twice a day. So she'll say something sometime where you're like, that's common sense. But she say so much stupid shit like this. You have to be told to say stupid stuff so that black people will look at that party and anybody who represents that party as black as just useless to their community.
Because somebody coming out saying Juneteenth is so lame, but I'm celebrating July 4th.
It's
People
like,
automatically look at you like, you fucking coon. This is a holiday about us, but you rather go celebrate, they're going to say, quote unquote, the white man's holiday.
well,
Even though they both
of
are.
them. Now it is.
Now it is because they've decided to make it a national holiday.
So
you can't get mad when you see these white people running around celebrating Juneteenth. It's no longer yours to yourself. It's a holiday for everybody now. It's not just Texans or African Americans in general.
It
is also everybody who lives in this country. Juneteenth is everybody's holiday now. So that's what happens when you give away your stuff.
Once again, your culture is just pop culture now. So I'm gonna show y'all one thing else. Azalea Banks is batshit crazy.
Azalea Banks is one who flew over the cuckoo nest.
She is batshit crazy.
However,
we saw her take the cat and boil it. But sometimes she be spitting.
Okay.
Sometimes she be spitting some real shit.
She has some weird choices in life, just like Candace Owens has chosen to do.
She seems to have a very fractured mind, but we're gonna move on from that. Now, Azalea Banks responded to
Candace Owens
about what she said about Juneteenth. This is what Azalea Banks had to say. According to this logic, on July 4th, 1776, you would still be enslaved, most likely on the verge of starvation due to the America's food supply having been prioritized to the war, while you hand sew American flags and struggle to wet nurse some depressed 24-year-old white widow's sickly child until your nipples are chapped and dry, whereabout you will be whipped by her 80-year-old uncle for your own malnourishment and inability to produce milk. Then sent to toil over the wood-burning stove, blistering your hands while forced to make peasantry meals of biscuits and gravy. You will be watched closely by her irate, sunburned, and whiskey-soaked 80-year-old uncle to be sure you do not sneak a single biscuit or fingerful of roast to yourself. By the way, this is very descriptive. She seemed to be pretty normal at doing this type of descriptive type thing. I think she should be a great writer more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
After you've watched everyone eat, you will be sent to do the cleaning up. Your last task will be to brushing the stressed and balding white widow's hair to prepare for her sleeping bonnet, a deep rest in her comfortable canopy bed next to your final descent down the stairs and out the back door where you proudly sleep on a bed-bug-infested pile of hay in a 6x4 cabin you share with 4 other slaves. Happy Independence Day. And somebody said here, she won't tangle with you though. She know who to pick her battles with. No shade.
And she ain't said nothing yet either.
Remember when she was going at Cardi B heavy?
Well, Cardi B
wanted Cardi B to debate. It's like, really? You want to debate Cardi B?
You know Cardi B is I think she may be acting too. We don't know.
What was her name with the Paris Hilton? Who came out with that video saying that I've been faking dumb this whole time. This is how it really sounds.
Yeah, that's how Paris Hilton said.
You don't sound no different.
Yeah.
But
still sound dumb. And look 50.
Look at Roly Poly. Somebody said this is him celebrating Juneteenth. You notice that he's been wearing these type of shirts
ever since ADOS.
Ever since he's been wearing those type of shirts. And by the way, what do they call it? The kente cloth. That's not even African.
Now he didn't wear that when he had invited Dr. Umar Johnson on his show. He should have had that on for Dr. Umar Johnson when he smoked his ass. We'll never forget that episode.
And that got him off TV.
That's what got your ass off the air and back on YouTube. Hey, Roland.
Oh, they had a bipartisan female Congress meeting. I got dinner. I'm sorry, where all the females in the House and Senate and stuff, they met to show bipartisanship amongst the women. And I looked at this and I immediately thought, man, no black girl magic.
Where's Simone Sanders at?
The one black woman in the House is in the background with her arms folded. Ain't that a black man right there?
Is the butler?
Let's see. Let me zoom in. Yeah, I think that's a black man.
Got him.
So the only black
him.
people in the room is a black man and a black woman who is the help.
Damn.
Yeah.
They didn't even invite y'all at a seat at the table. But y'all got so much magic.
Seat at the table. Been begging for that seat for years, boy. Good Lord. And then, so obviously Juneteenth, it is what it is. You got people walking across the damn country to be a part of Juneteenth. And as we've been saying, the real argument should have been for reparations. They continue to push holidays and all this other stuff.
They pulling all tricks out of the bag on y'all ass.
You got all these, you do got a whole bunch of banks and all these corporations saying they pledging $5 million, $10 million to the black community. You go, well, where's it going?
We don't ever see the damn money. Where's it going?
Is you giving to people that already own businesses? Is this for loans? What is
my bank account is still the same. Ain't nothing that's been deposited in it.
You still owe me. But so I don't know. But this is woman. The first time I saw her was on she had a TikTok video go viral where she was talking crazy about black people. She was making black jokes. And I thought she was a comedian, like a not funny comedian.
Like Tiffany Haddish?
Why you bring her up? I thought she was just some not funny comedian who was trying to get it started or something. But turns out she's into politics, which make her worse. How you into politics and you make black jokes? What audience are you going? Once again,
conservative audience.
These people, to me, have been hired to almost push black people away from the conservative party. Why would I want to associate with a party when they promote people like this? Like, I don't get it. So this is her talking about basically why black Americans or African Americans or ADOS or FBA, whatever you want to say, why they shouldn't get reparations. Let's take a listen.
So California has now launched a reparations task force to pay back black Californians for the plight of slavery. The 9-member task force is working on drafting an apology to black Californians and working on legislation that could include direct payments to those who are descendant of slaves. My question is, how does that make sense? There is no black person living in America right now that is held back by some remnant of slavery. We have every single right, privilege, and opportunity that white people have in this country. We do not need reparation.
Another thing, she really didn't make an argument against it. But you know, she had, what's his name, Thomas Sowell, however you say his name, in the background there. They worship that dude. They've been trying to convince black people all this time that he's the answer to everything. And it's like, you have plenty of black people that listen to him and say he doesn't say nothing. He says the typical jargon that you used to. But not only is she not black American, I think she's Nigerian. It's like, why would you, a Nigerian woman, come to America and tell the people who've been here what's best for them?
You know, it makes your blood boil, because who the fuck are you to come into a country that you're not even from and tell people who have been here what they should have and what they should not have? Y'all better be glad I don't have no power, because your ass wouldn't be coming here. I said it.
Oh, shit. Travis
you would not be coming here.
Travis
what the fuck you here for? You're not our allies. All skin folk ain't kin folk.
They say they here to better their family.
Exactly. And while you're here bettering bettering your family, you're tearing us down. Stop having them anchor babies.
Yeah, bootstraps and stuff. But I'm gonna show y'all a clip of Malcolm X speaking to another man about the Black American, Negro, whatever you want to say, of the Americas versus the Caribbeans or West Africans. What he had to say about the plight of both.
Yes, I think you're right there. I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, sir, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No, the problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is that many Puerto Ricans are mistaken for Negroes. I do not think discrimination stems only from slavery.
Let me. Yes.
So they been on this.
They've
been on this.
There, for some reason, there's this thing where everybody who has a political push, you have to latch yourself on to the Black American.
And we tired of it.
Think about every cause in this country, every last one. At some point of its growth or push into the mainstream media, it's been compared and latched onto the Black or Black American or Negro or ADOS or FBA struggle. Every last thing.
Y'all chose to come here. We didn't choose to come here.
Well, the argument against that is, well, America is bombing and putting sanctions on other people's countries, and those people are being displaced. And so some of them come to Western countries like America because their country is being destroyed.
But they already know how Black Americans are being treated here. So why would you, even though your country is being bombed and all this shit is happening there, you're still going to go to a country where you're going to quote unquote be oppressed?
Well, they're not bombing in America.
They're not bombing in America, but shit. They do bomb in America. We know they bomb in America when they want to bomb in America. Who they choose to bomb.
They've done it a few times to the Negroes. But my point is, they feel like, well, getting just attacked by the system or shot by police or harassed by police and stuff and dealing with that is less, it's less than getting bombed out of your home.
You don't have to come to America.
I'm not saying they have to, but a lot of them make that decision because they feel like it's a better.
And when they make that decision, they make the decision to put themselves in a separate boat from us. They're not in the same boat as us.
Some of them, okay. Well, some of them do adopt certain things of the African American.
That's their choice.
So are they not allowed to,
You don't have to assimilate to us. Keep your culture. Nobody's telling you to assimilate with us.
Do they ever really get rid of their culture? I don't think
they get rid of their culture.
So yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think they really ever get rid of their culture.
But they do assimilate with us somewhat, right?
So then they adopt to their new culture.
That's a choice.
I'm saying they adopt to a new culture.
That's a choice.
So now they want to be a part of their group.
Well, yeah, you could be an ally, but that don't mean you're gonna cash in on what we get.
It's always about the money.
It's not about the money. It's about the debt. Their debt is not owed to them.
Yeah, controversial. That's a controversial topic.
It's not a controversial topic. How is it a controversial topic?
I'm not saying to me.
Okay.
I'm saying that's why that topic has been, I would say that topic probably became the most popular since 2016, 2015, 2016.
I don't know.
The immigrant or the foreign Black versus the Black American.
That's shit. It's everybody. I've seen shit where Black French versus African American. How can a Black French be versus an African American? Well, how is that possible?
They look at it like the Black American is he's the most visible amongst Black people because of his access to American media and how prominent America is. So when they have arguments about stuff, they always say, well, the African American could bring attention to this.
That's not our job.
They feel like, if you could just talk about this a little bit, it would help.
It's not our job to fight every Black person in the world's battle.
It's not, but they feel like, it will help. It's like the SARS thing. Remember when the end SARS thing started, you had a lot of people who immediately, and I thought this was kind of silly, immediately started to attack the Black Lives Matter situation.
There are immigrants who have platforms like Grapevine. They could have started talking about it. They have a big platform, don't they?
Yeah, but as I was saying, you have people like saying immediately after that they started attacking the Black Lives Matter situation because they was like, well, Black Lives Matter means more than just African Americans. There's more Black people in America. So the NSAR situation, they thought it would be this global thing that would be, all over the place, all over the media, just like Black Lives Matter was, and it really wasn't. I mean, for a little while, for like a couple of days, maybe a week or so, it kind of was getting covered a little bit. But there was a lot of pushback from the people who was pushing the NSAR situation in comparison to the Black Lives Matter. They were like, "This, why y'all not coming out the same way?" And they started showing videos of the people in Africa doing Black Lives Matter protests, and it would be like 40 people protesting, 30 people. So it didn't really equal the same on that land versus over here. So yeah. Why you get quiet? Travis over here boiling. Travis is mad. Look, man, you gonna get your money.
It's not about money. It's about the fact that, you know, Black Lives Matter, it was started off with something that happened to black people in America. It wasn't a universal thing, and that's the problem.
Well, see,
no,
I saw another thing where people were making the argument that, do Black Americans own the word black?
I would say yes.
Or there's some people who say there's more. There's people who want Black Americans, because instead of, they don't want you to say the word black culture, because you say black culture, they feel like you're just talking about African American. They want you to say Black American culture. And you go, wait, the word black has been used by black people in America for how long? I would say since the 40s. Well, actually, they've been using it against black people for the longest, but at least black people started using the words for themselves probably since the 30s, 40s. They were using Negro around that time too. They didn't start using African American until the 60s, 70s, or something like that. African American?
80s.
80s. I don't know. Yeah, it probably was around the 80s.
It was the 80s.
Was that Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson?
That was Jesse Jackson who started it in the 80s.
Yeah, so they feel like the word black should mean more than just African American. There needs to be more of a distinction, which comes to.
So you call yourself Black Nigerian? That's what a person kept saying. You call yourself Black Gambian?
That's what they were saying. They said I don't have to call myself black in my own country because we're all black, but when I'm in America, I have to make a distinction that I'm black.
No, you don't. You normally don't make a decision to make a distinction that you're black. Your distinction in your blackness is I'm Nigerian, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian.
No. They saying in comparison to other races, not black people. When they're in Nigeria, they separate themselves by their tribe, Igbo, Ashanti. But when they're in America, they're black.
No, they don't. Because
no, I'm not saying they are tribes. I'm saying that's what the person was saying.
No, they don't. What I'm saying is, even in America, they have to make a distinction between the African American and the country. No, they don't. They say I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm not African American.
They say I'm black. To black people, they say I'm Jamaican, I'm Nigerian.
I've worked with them. To other people, they say what they are too. They don't just say I'm black.
At work?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. At work.
We live here in Washington. There's a lot of East Africans here and West Africans here, and they identify themselves as Eritrean, Ethiopian.
They call themselves black too.
Somalian.
But that's besides the point. That's not my argument. I'm saying that's what they said. But we're moving past that now. We already talked about that before, the whole situation. Let's get into some Atlanta politics. Now, this whole situation, the Atlanta politics situation, we got involved in it or got interested in it when the T.I. Tiny situation started. T.I. and Tiny, they got accused of some crimes. Was it sexual harassment and rape and assault?
All the above.
Allegedly, T.I. put a gun to that Sabrina Peterson woman's head, and now a dude then came out and accused them. That made that whole situation kind of different. They ain't happened before. The fact that a dude came out and said that they did something to him.
He said he was assaulted. He didn't say nothing about sexually. He said assaulted, allegedly.
You mean beaten up?
Yeah. He said he got his ass whooped.
Okay. I'm just saying, but the reason why we talked about that is we immediately tied it to Keisha Bottoms. I thought immediately this is political because the woman who accused T.I. immediately endorsed another candidate who's running for mayor, another black woman. So it was like, this is political.
And it just so happened that now you have.
So then Keisha Bottoms stepped down, and we immediately knew that this guy here, Kasim Reed, we knew immediately when we looked this up that he was going to run again. Clearly the big hats and the people with money and the business owners didn't want Keisha Bottoms there anymore. Maybe they felt she handled the Black Lives Matter Antifa protests wrong. I don't know. Whatever happened, they wanted her gone, and she's announced that she would not be running again. A lot of people think she probably would have lost anyway. But he finally announced he will be running. Now, a few months ago when we made that video, he said he didn't know yet. We knew then he was, but he said he didn't know yet. He'll see, the country, Atlanta needs him and needs somebody to fix the crime and all this stuff. Let's see what he had to say when he finally announces that he will be running for a third term in Atlanta.
I'm back.
Well, you heard it there. Atlanta Mayor, former Mayor, Kasim Reed, for 2 terms until 2018, he ran the city of Atlanta, and he's back running now for a 3rd term. It would make history. This morning, we're talking to him, and we do want to welcome to BNC. Welcome back, Kasim Reed, Mayor Kasim Reed.
Good morning.
Once a mayor, always a mayor, but good morning. But can you do it again? And I guess that's my first question, Mayor. The rumors about you jumping into this race, they've been swirling for months. And then on your birthday, we just showed the announcement. You made it official. Why are you jumping into the race, and what's behind the decision? How did you make it?
Money.
I'm getting in the race because the city of Atlanta is in one of the most perilous conditions I've seen it in. I mean, we have a crime that's been soaring in a manner that I haven't seen in my lifetime. We have a part of our city, a large part of our city, that is actively working to de-annex and become its own city.
Buckhead, ain't it Buckhead?
It's Buckhead, not Bankhead.
I said Buckhead. Buckhead wants to separate from Atlanta because of the crime rate. How bad is the crime on a damn, would you call it a city?
It's
Or whatever. That's not a neighborhood.
Atlanta's a city.
Inside of the damn city don't want to be a part of it because of the crime. They want to just completely separate. But obviously he's running, and if you look at his interview, this woman, she wasn't really feeling him at all. She really was looking forward to getting to end of the interview or getting to the real juicy stuff she clearly wanted to talk about, which was the
scandal
that surrounded him.
That would have catastrophic consequences for the children who are in Atlanta public schools if the revenue that went with those people went away. It would also rip apart the international reputation of the city of Atlanta as the city that is too busy to hate if we were to break apart along those lines. We also have the worst relationship between the city and the state of Georgia that I've seen in my lifetime, and I think that those relationships need to be restored in order to protect jobs and continue the city that we have been really since the civil rights movement in the United States. So really,
so there he's talking about the connections to business.
Where we don't feel safe. How would you get that?
I hired 900 jobs. So for me,
high up in the administration were bribery, a lack of trust. You've apologized. Do you need to say more because you know this campaign, you know your critics, some in the race? What else do we need to know?
What you need to know is I accept full responsibility for my administration. But what you also need to know is so many of the things that were said during the course of my administration have been proven demonstrably false. I mean, there used to be constant rumors and a constant swirl around Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the busiest airport on the planet. Allegations of contract steering. Absolutely none of that was true.
Didn't one of his women, didn't he have a fall guy? Or a fall woman?
It was a fall woman.
Now, another thing you got to know is celebrities have a lot of power in Atlanta, it seems.
Why is Tyrese there? I thought he lived in California.
Maybe he moved to Atlanta.
Maybe moved to the A.
So I think, as we said, they disabled T.I. and the connection to Keisha Bottoms. They kneecapped her, forced her to announce that she's going to be bow out so that they can give him a clean road back to the seat and as mayor of Atlanta. The reason why we're bringing this up is this is an example of very tricky politics, and this is amongst black people. Because clearly this dude, I mean, if you look at the previous administration, they were littered with all kind of scandals.
Allegedly.
Like the woman said, bribery, all that stuff. So, yeah. And Black News Channel definitely make sure they bring up those scandals in this interview. But speaking of Black News Channel, there's a quick video I want to show right here, because they always cover stuff a certain way. And as you said, what are your feelings on Black News Channel?
I don't care for Black News Channel. I think they are here to once again put black people to sleep. Keep pushing LGBTQ whatever stuff. They definitely are here for the Democratic Party. That's what they're here for. To keep black people on the nipple.
So on the nipple. So this is gonna be a quick clip before I show what relates to that. But look at this clip and look at the reaction that she had to say to what he had to, about what he had to say. So obviously you had these young kids trying to cancel the "Cater to You" song by Destiny's Child. Whatever. That's whatever. But listen to what he had to say at the beginning of this video and listen to her response. Kevin Samuels should do a damn video on this. the way this went, this is
speaks to facts. What he say?
Like, if this woman came on his show or Instagram, it would go exactly the way all the other
she's
ones
very
go.
attractive,
very,
especially when she smiles.
But you could tell how she always looking off camera and twisting her eyes, and she's not mentally stable. But let's see what let me show y'all what she had
allegedly.
to say.
Now I don't know that.
My wife is a boss, but my wife has some old school values, and my wife still does some things for me that I don't ask her to do, but she wants to do. And a lot of people say that's catering to your husband, and a lot like even my mom gets mad, like, why you fixing that man his plate? Why you doing that? Why you doing that? I'm like, look, she wants to do it. She does it out of love. She knows I'll do it for her. Yeah, she'll do it for me.
Why are you doing something for that man? And she responds, I think I love your mother.
But there is this Destiny.
So that's just a little clip I want to show. Good Lord.
That speaks of facts. Your mama be in the back telling her, stop fixing that man that plate.
Your own mama try to
don't start something you can't finish, because that's gonna be the expectation.
Your own mama will try and make your wife less cooperative with you.
Your mama will get up and fix the plate for you. She wanted to be her job.
So your mama would tell your wife, don't do that, and then she'll go fix your plate for you.
Because she don't want that woman taking her place.
It's insane. These people are crazy. I just want to show that little clip there, but the real thing I want to talk about is how, like we said, they continue to
push fake news
against black people and try to convince black people that really they're dumb and all this stuff, that they don't know no better. So in this little video he had here, he pointed out Putin bringing up racism towards black people in America as a attack on America when they try to talk about him and his alleged crimes against other officials in Russia. And they brought out how Russia and all these other countries like China, Vietnam, they always use black people in America as an attack against America for not being the people who should be allowed,
or a weapon to call America hypocrites.
Yeah, call America hypocrite, that you shouldn't be allowed to be the leader of the free world when you're treating citizens in your own country like this. You're committing crimes against your own people.
But you're always going into other people's countries,
telling them what they should do and shouldn't do.
What's a word they love to use? You're a dictator.
Yeah, dictator. You're a dictator. It's like, well, y'all treating your people like this.
You're bombing your citizens. They always lying on these countries.
So I just want to show this clip here of them talking about how Russia allegedly has been trying to use black people to exploit America's racism.
Use it as a way to point out American hypocrisy on human rights, as a means of deflecting from their own horrible treatment of their own people, and as a way to buck American chastisement. Until America sufficiently deals with its own race problem, it will remain somewhat handicapped on the world stage. Earlier today, at a news conference after his meeting with President Biden, Russian President Vladimir Putin brushed aside criticisms of how his government was treating a pro-democracy group in his country by comparing that group to Black Lives Matter. Listen.
America just recently had very severe events after well-known events after a killing of an African American. And an entire movement developed known as Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to comment on that, but here's what I do want to say. What we saw was disorder, destruction, violations of the law, etc. We feel sympathy for the United States of America, but we don't want that to happen on our territory, and we're doing our utmost in order to not allow it to happen.
Russia has a long history of invoking our domestic race problem. As Julia Ioff pointed out in The Atlantic in 2017, Russia and the Soviet Union have a 80-plus year history of involvement in exploitation of America's race problem. In fact, as Ioff put it, whenever the Soviet Union was criticized for its human rights abuses, the rebuttal became, "And you lynch Negroes." The Russian effort has gone beyond embarrassing the United States to using race as a way to interfere in our presidential election in 2016. As the New York Times reported in 2018, the Russians' efforts on Facebook and Instagram specifically targeted Black American communities and appear.
By the way, those posts they're talking about, there was less than a number to even worry about that actually influenced Black people's decision making. This continually push this idea that Black people are so brain dead that a Facebook post can convince them who to vote for. A Facebook post, by the way, they won't tell you that the stuff in the Facebook post is false. They won't tell you that part. You got people saying that the reason why we know about the Biden signing crime bills and all the Biden stuff came out because Russia released it. And it's like, well, was it not true? It was true though, right?
Listen, if America, you're supposed to be the leader of the free world, and you're doing stuff to harm the own people in your country, and their rebuttal is, but you lynch Negroes. Where did they lie at?
They didn't lie. They didn't lie.
Like you're a Black news channel, and I would, as a reporter, you should have said, well, they didn't lie. They didn't lie about anything.
They said that they're using it as an attack on America, on our society, and it's like, wow.
You should want other people to acknowledge the crimes that are being committed against you.
What you want is the quote unquote international community to speak on what's happening to your people. That's a good thing.
But they wanted, I guess they just like how it is in the Black House. Our business is our business.
No. Yeah, you're right. They wanted they wanted to stay in house. This ain't your house.
This ain't your house.
Yeah, man.
You're not even a guest here.
I'm so tired of these stooges, man. But I think that's the end of that. This is a little episode we put out. We really wanted to talk about that Juneteenth. That was the main thing we wanted to talk about, and how idiotic they made our people look celebrating a random no point holiday just to give them an extra day off. Really, that's really what they were celebrating, an extra day off from work. But
44 days now.
44.
Oh, and we forgot about the targeting Black people for the vaccination shots too.
Yeah. So
this was also on Black News.
So on Black News Channel, they went through this whole thing about Black people doing the vaccinations and how the numbers were. First, they said the numbers were low, but then the dude came on there and said, actually, they're pretty good. They're pretty average. So it's like they sent that dude there as propaganda to convince Black people that we are taking the vaccine. This is normal for us.
No, we're not. And then they try to mix, and then he tried to come up with excuses. Well, they have transportation issues. No. If they really want to get that shot, they'll wake a way to get that shot.
Listen, you got vaccinations in barbershops, grocery stores, schools, churches,
and niggas still ain't taking them.
Post office, if they're not taking it, they don't want it. It's simple. If they're not taking it, they don't want it.
We are 13%, us little 13% of the population. And you so worried about us. 13%, supposedly 13% of the population.
Yeah.
But yet you're focused on us so much.
It is. But
and by the way, now we know the shit he's saying was a lie, because now they're saying, oh, Biden's saying he doesn't think he's gonna be able to meet that goal by July 4th.
Of course he ain't.
He needs 75%, and he's at what? 58%, 59% people are supposedly have had one shot.
Well, I think it's at 62.
62?
And he wants to get to 70.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah, he needs like 800K a day.
And that ain't gonna 800K a day?
Yeah. They already talking about a new strain coming, so prepare for August.
They gonna let you be free. Like Duke said. You're gonna be free, I think, until about October. That's why I booked that trip in September, because I know after that, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And it's a wrap on that, y'all. If you watch this to this point, we really appreciate the support. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
You're getting used to saying it now. But anyway, man, all praise to the Most High and peace.